Alright, hello. This is another ZBrush setup here. Um, so, last time we took a look at how to sort of get these models in here and kind of set them up. And this one, there's no subtools going on with this, so it's just the model without the clothes, eyes, teeth, and tongue. But what I wanted to go over now is I want to take a look at a couple of little items. We're going to go ahead and quickly use a Z plugin to UV this model. So we're going to go to the UV master. We're going to work on a clone, which will pop it over here. And let's go ahead and just hit unwrap real quick and see what we get out of that. Oh, I might have to go back. I should probably check and make sure I didn't already have a UV wrap on it. I don't think there is. I'm almost certain there's not. There's a lot of verts here, so it takes a moment. And we might get suboptimal results. Let's take a look and see where those seams end up. I would prefer not to have the seams running all over the face like that, so what we'll do here is we will go ahead and enable control painting and set this up. Let me grab a pen here to work with, and we're going to protect the face. Make sure the face isn't what's getting all messed up. And that's probably about it. I don't mind if it runs down the middle or the back. I just don't, you usually don't want seams running all over the face structure. So let's try that again. Unwrap. The rest of them tend to be pretty clean, especially because this model particularly has, it's it's symmetrical on both sides. And here we go. All right, let's take a look at this. Those seams might end up being a little bit of an issue for mouth movement, but let's roll with it and see what happens. Alright, so let's flatten it and see what we got. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that, but we'll give it a shot and see. So what we'll probably see is so many little cuts and seams here that we'll probably see when we bring over a normal map into something like Maya. It'll be kind of a little obvious, but maybe we can get around that. So go ahead and copy the UVs. We go on back to our original body and paste those UVs on there. All right. And now we've got a chance to go ahead and start coloring things up. We do have a UV map now, right? Which we can, I don't even know if we need to create it. We're probably okay because it's there. So let's go ahead and start working with how do you paint on a model and detail stuff, right? So we had some detailing that was going on last time, but I've gone back. I had to fix some weird holes over here in the back I hadn't seen before. So now I've got a number of brushes, materials, all sorts of cool things. Let's go ahead and kick the geometry level. Oh, it's right up into subdivision 3. That's probably part of it. I could have probably sized that down. So if we go to the texture map, what we want to do is we want to go, okay, new texture, and it'll select it from the white setup. Although what we could do is we could choose a color. So if I choose, say, maybe a dark red, I could do new texture off of that, and it'll automatically place that texture on the character to give it like a base to work off of. And then I'm going up to the Polypaint, which is right here. right? And what you want to do now is make sure you're set to RGB, and make sure that you are going to polypaint from texture, right? Boop. Let's see. Gotta choose a new color, of course. Here we go. So there you go, right? So now I can go in here and I can start painting, and of course, whatever brush I'm using is the brush that's going to be doing that. See, so. You can see that it's starting to make these scale setups here. Now, a thing you might want to consider doing when you're doing this kind of work, let's see if we can. Let me adjust this brush real quick. Maybe I don't need to. But we could do like a drag as well. Of course, that's kind of a funky setup then. Drag dots, also kind of a funky. Freehand it. It's a little too close. I would like to space these out a little bit more. There's the spacing option. Maybe I have to go freehand? No. How do I get to that spacing? First strokes. There it is. Curve functions. So it's not going to probably let me make adjustments to this brush here. Yeah, it's not going to let me make adjustments to that for some reason. So we will leave it. I want to adjust the spacing, but I think it's because the brush is already made. And if I go in here, mouse average input count, you can lower that. You can also use the lazy mouse, which is kind of neat. It allows you to sort of drag your visuals. Okay. Wonder why it has automatic setup on those. It might have to do with. So I don't know. Standard, you can't adjust that one either. So. Not gonna worry about too much at the moment. So scales. Oopsie. Notice that that's set to zADD, so you're gonna get. Let's turn that lazy mouse off. All right. Fish scales. All right. So see how it's doing a thing now. All right. So what we really want is We got color now that we can start applying. If I take that zADD off, I get color. But what we kind of really want is to what we kind of really want is to maybe combine the visual effect with the color effect, right? We want maybe to get texture and color, right? So if I turn on the zADD and I kind of adjust the intensity for that, Z intensity down to maybe 20, and maybe even give this another divide to level 4. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we can probably turn that Z intensity up a little bit more. See? And I'll make it really obvious. I'll put some color in, a different color. See? Means that we start to get texturing plus color on our model. Let's drag and sample this red again. Also might be worth it to try maybe this bigger brushes. Oh, let's do oh, right, zADD. So we'll kind of move between these. Alright, B key to move between them. Let's see, do we have some other ones in there with that? That was under brushes. When I go to, I can actually open this up and just go to these brushes, and here there's a bunch of them. Scales, what's this one? Oh. I don't know what that one is. Oh, it's kind of like heavy duty. I don't like that at all. Yeah, it's doing weird things. I don't like that one. Let's try. Let's try the ooh. It's pretty intense too. Maybe we turn that Z intensity way down. Yeah, I don't know how much I like this one either. It's kind of a... It's neat, but it's doing weird things a little bit. Maybe it could be like on the belly, maybe? Ooh. I don't know about that either. Maybe. Ah, that's really rough. Not sure if that's really what we want out of that. Huh. That's really weird. Some mushy thing. I feel like some of these aren't scales. Maybe they could be. Like this could be like a brush where you're making scale pieces, maybe. I don't think I like that one much though. Scales fish, snake. Not really scales. This one's kind of okay. And we can take off that zADD to kind of just make it so that it's just colors. Let's go back to the... I liked these. They were nice and trim and tiny. Right? Let's just smooth the color blends. Because you can just smooth colors if you want. And let's go back and do some more of those. I think they were the snake scales. I like how they looked on the back with a bigger brush, because the size does matter with these. Oopsie. Let's put the color back out. See that? Right, so in this way, we're getting color and texture. And that's pretty much what I wanted to kind of touch on here. So let's say I get to a point where I'm happy with this. First of all, I should probably save this file here. So what you'll notice is when I take it back down to the lowest division, things get really blocky again. So I go on down to like 1, and it's chunky, and it's a little. There's obviously a huge difference in the level of detail on the model at that point. I'll probably go in and do a lot of little tweaks and adjustments and color changes. I'm not sure if I'm happy with the color sets, but I'm just kind of giving you an example here, right? So let's say I'm ready to save this out. I can now save the texture map, go there, and I can turn that texture on. Ooh, clone it, right? Ooh, hold on a second. I don't get the right texture there. Let's do Polypaint. Oh, what am I missing here? That's wrong. Let's do new texture. Won't do it. That just colors it. Should be clone texture. But I'm not getting the texture set. Let's see here. I always kind of mess this one up. It's just something that makes my brain hurt sometimes. Polypaint from polygroups. No. Polypaint from textures. No. Colorize. Just makes it that. Oh, create from Polypaint. There we go. Sorry. And now we clone it over. And here we have it over in our texture set. So we can go up here. It's over here, but you get more options when you go up to. So if I go to texture, oops, sorry, I can go down to it, and I'm gonna have to rotate it because it's not gonna come out the same. So let's say I take this model and I take it and I export it, right? And it's an OBJ at the moment, but it could be more than an OBJ. It could be my Maya MA file. So let's save that. High res 13. Let's do 14. And what's going to do is it's going to flip these, so you'll have to rotate them. When you go in here, you'll go to texture, you'll rotate it, and it's the same with the normal map and the displacement map. I can go in here and I can say, hey, let's go ahead and create a normal map out of it, and then you'll want to like flip the G channel normally. And so once I kind of get all those pieces together and export them, and I flip the things to the right channel, I'll show you what I mean in like the next little video, right? But this is how you can kind of set up your textures and save them so you have them. The model probably needs more work, but that's how you go about it.